We're on to our final delegate, Delegate Koubra Haggar of the Hamilton Centre for Civic Inclusion.
Hello, everyone, and thank you for having me here today. So I, of course, wanted to speak as well on the Keeping Transit Public. So this morning we did have an official launch or, release of the Keep Transit Public campaign here in Hamilton. And I think, for this discussion, a lot of the common points or a lot of what we can kind of tie everything together with is the idea that if it's for the public, it should be by the public. And I think that, when talking about the HSR and the incredible work that they've done over the years in transit in Hamilton, it would be, I would say, a loss to see the LRT go anywhere else. We know that city councillors are elected to represent the residents of the city with regards to public matters that affect us all, and transit is one of these things. So how do we ensure due process when part or all of our operations and maintenance are contracted to the private sector? How do we ensure that public transit systems remain accessible and affordable to those already using the HSR today, many of whom are students, low-income Hamiltonians, the working class? How do we know that the measures that could potentially be used by a private company to operate and maintain the LRT will prioritize the safety and well-being of all Hamiltonians and prioritize residents over image or profit? Systems that serve the public should be accountable to that population, and the city handing off part or all of those operations to for the LRT would prevent that from happening. We ask questions when things come up. We ask questions when we know that there are concerns. We delegate when there are issues that we would like to speak to. But where do we go to do the same thing if part or all of the maintenance and operation of the LRT is handed to a private company who does not have the same responsibility to listen to constituents, to listen to residents in the same way? Hamilton is also a city that welcomes newcomers every year. We have the highest density of disabled people in all of Canada, and navigating public transit is already challenging enough when you have barriers to accessibility, when you have a language barrier, when you're just learning about the city, knowing where to go to file a complaint or to pick up your wallet that you forgot on the bus. And how much more does the challenge increase when we hand off some of that maintenance and operation to another company? An LRT system potentially separate from the HSR would just exacerbate a lot of these challenges, and we've talked about it a lot. And when we've had conversations about the LRT with public residents of Hamilton, a lot of the questions are associated to who's going to maintain these this rail. Who do we go to when we have questions about the next stop? Who do we go to when we need support and help around navigating these systems? Private company would be spending the tax dollars put into the system by residents of the city if the city decides to go forward with passing off some of that responsibility to a private company. But it is crucial that whoever is spending these dollars can answer to residents when necessary and promptly, because this is money coming from Hamiltonians, this is money coming from the public, from residents of the city. Decisions like these on who is going to operate the LRT in the future have very tangible impacts on many, many Hamiltonians, especially individuals relying on public transit systems and relying on the safety of them and the accessibility of them. So we should prioritize the public. We should prioritize Hamilton. Let's prioritize our city when making this decision and when thinking about the future of public transit in Hamilton. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any, are there any questions of the delegate? Seeing none, thank you for your attendance this morning.